What's up, Videolanders? I'm Brad.
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Mark.
I'm Mark.
And today we're going to adventure through the sights and sounds of
Green Inferno.
Alright guys, this movie was actually filmed in 2012. I think it was released in Toronto Film Festival in 2013. It was supposed to be released in theaters in 2014. And we finally got a release date last week. We were all able to go watch it last week. And this movie's out so late that it's actually running into Eli Roth's next movie, Knock Knock, with Keanu Reeves, an erotic thriller home invasion movie. So I think that comes out October 9th, actually, is when that releases. So real quick, let's go around and talk about... This is Eli Roth's first movie since 2007's Hostel 2. Okay, that's a long time, man. 2007. So let's go around, talk about what do you think of Eli Roth as a director?
I personally loved Hostel 2.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the other things that he's done, hit or miss there. I feel like he just tries too hard with certain things, which is one of my big issues with Green Inferno. I feel like he tried to put too much in there, and then he just half-assed everything.
Yeah. What about Cabin Fever?
It's been so long since I've seen Cabin Fever, but I remember it being good. I rewatched part of it recently, and it was okay.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Aftershock? Anybody watch Aftershock? It's a small Chile movie about a, not the actual Chile. It's about being in Chile and an earthquake hits, and after that it's like chaos ensues. It's not actually the earthquake that you're actually fearing, it's the people after the earthquake. You know, all the robbers and things like that. So, but Eli Roth had a bit part in that movie. He actually produced that. If you actually like, if you've watched Aftershock and you like that, then Green Inferno is probably for you. I'm not a big Aftershock fan myself. Actually, a lot of the people that are in this movie here are in Aftershock as well. Almost the exact same cast, same writing team, etc., etc. So, where do you stand on Eli Roth?
Eli Roth, I respect anybody that wants that role. You know, making movies, director and everything. But Hostel 1 and 2, not my thing. Not my kind of movie. But, you know, I don't know, I just respect him as a director. I mean, so, but this movie, though, more of the same, I thought. Yeah,
we don't have a lot of horror directors. So I do have some respect for Eli Roth because at least he's sticking to a genre that I love, and I'm hoping that he'll nail one. Yeah. I remember when Cabin Fever came out, I had a friend, Ryan Smith, I think he was in Canada at the time. It was either him or a friend named Marshall. They called me up and they're like, you got to watch this movie, Cabin Fever. I went to go check it out and I was like, wow, this is actually a pretty, good sophomore movie, I thought that was really good. Hostel 1... That came out real close the same time as Saw, and, I'm not one for torture porn. That's just not my thing. There's always a, what do they call it, things change. Like, sometimes, I don't like torture porn, but I can get into, if it calls for it. And Green Inferno, I thought, called for it. And that's when you're going to do it. If it serves the story, I'm all about it. But just to do torture porn for torture porn's sake, not my style, I was a big fan of Cabin Fever. Hostel 1, okay. Hostel 2, I thought was actually pretty good. I thought he hit a very humorous beat there that worked for Hostel 2 that I think he tried to do for Green Inferno, and it just didn't quite work. I'm not a fan of Aftershock. And that's where I kind of stand. I think he's hit or miss as well. I'm glad that he's around. He's directing horror films, and we'll see what he's doing with Knock Knock here. What do you think, man, about Eli Roth as a horror director?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I actually do like the Hostel movies.
Yeah, so you like your horror hard, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I actually did prefer the second one because he actually went back and explained everything.
Yeah.
Which, as a director, that's pretty good for going back and explaining how this all is going to take place, and this is how they all get the people on.
And didn't it have like a bite to it that Hostel 1 did not have?
Yes. And
you have a quote from Stephen King?
Yes.
And this quote, I think, is pretty important. This quote actually had me pumped going in to Green Inferno. I'll let you go ahead and read it, and then I'll expound upon that.
Okay, Stephen King posted this on his Twitter account. The Green Inferno is like a glorious throwback to the drive-in movies of my youth. Bloody, gripping, hard to watch, but can't look away.
Okay, and we're going to get into more of that statement, how we feel, in a few minutes. But he also goes on to say that Hostel 2 was one of his favorite Eli Roth movies. And I was like, man, so Stephen King got Hostel 2.
Yeah.
And it sounds like maybe he gets Green Inferno, what I thought was going to be Green Inferno, you know? And so then going into it, it's just, man, I think that statement's way off. I think we all, do you agree with that as well? I mean, do you agree with King or disagree?
Okay, I loved Hostel 2. That's probably one of the only Eli Roth films I've watched over and over and over again. And I was so excited when I was hearing all the buzz about Green Inferno. I heard all the different things that he was really influenced by. He was really influenced by Cannibal Holocaust, which I heard was one of the most terrifying films of all time. I had to turn it off because it just got all kinds of real for me. But I was so pumped and so ready for it, and then I walked in and it was just kind of a big letdown.
Yeah,
I agree. To be honest.
Do you agree with Stephen King?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
When he mentions it's a movie that you can't look away from, I looked away quite a bit because you kind of can't help but rib this movie at how ridiculous and unrealistic it was at times.
I looked away quite a bit too. I looked at my popcorn. I was like, wait, how come my fucking popcorn's empty? You know? So how about you, man? Where do you stand with this quote?
I kind of laughed a little too hard.
Yeah?
I was looking down at the ground. I was just like,
Yeah, and this movie is being critically acclaimed for, not critically acclaimed, but acclaimed for the gore.
No.
Yeah, it
what gore?
Yeah, and it is like, if you're watching this and you're leaving Sunday school to go see Green Inferno and you haven't watched a movie in the last 10 years, you're probably going to shit your pants, okay? It's kind of scary if you're that person. But if you're, I think probably all of us are probably desensitized Americans, right? I went into this movie and I was like, where's the fucking gore?
Yeah.
I feel like the only real gore that was in the entire film was the very first kill.
Yeah, the very first kill, which was I think that character's name was Jonah. They ripped him apart. Oh, yeah. And that was done very well.
That was what I was expecting for the entire film.
Yeah,
That's what I was hoping for, to be honest.
Yeah,
I wanted the horror there. I mean, I was actually a little scared during that. Like, you know, I just felt myself clenching every time they just like tear something out of him. Yeah. And it's like, I didn't get that.
I didn't get that either. Let's go ahead. Go ahead.
You know, like, I didn't see Hostel 1 and 2. It wasn't my thing, and I'm not all about mean-spirited gore. Now, this movie, I would have just wrote it off, was not something I would have normally saw, but it was a cannibal movie, and I thought, well, I'll give it a shot. Because you know, it's a cannibal movie, people are going to get ripped apart. Well, I'll go check it out. I'll see what it's about, you know. But this, you know, this was just dumb people making really dumb choices.
Yeah, really. That's what it pretty much comes down to. Yeah. Let's kick off this review right, and let's talk about a quote from Eli Roth, and then we can kind of spread out from there, okay? There's a quote from Eli Roth, and he said, "You don't make movies like the kind I make to be universally loved. You make them because you want to provoke, and you want a reaction. The best thing that people can say is, I couldn't watch it, or I watched it with my eyes closed. If I've really done my job as a director, nobody can actually watch your movie. They're watching the inside of their hand. You don't want people walking out of a movie. You want them running out of the theater, screaming. When that happens, I've done my job as a director. It's like a standing ovation for me." Do you think that Eli Roth has really done his job as a director?
No.
Yeah, and we've touched on it a little bit, but it's like, no, I don't think he has at all. And it's pretty upsetting to me, too, because we're not going to get this chance again with this tribe.
Yes.
You know, this tribe, I mean, get up close and show them your makeup here.
Okay.
I mean, that's some cool stuff. And we're getting some cool makeup in this movie, which I think is pretty iconic for a movie. Yeah. You know, it's very simple, but some of the most simplistic images, you know, in history. I mean, look at Michael Myers' mask. Yeah. You know, that thing is terrifying. Something just as simple as that is pretty freaking scary. You know, but just you look at the tribal leader, you look at the main headhunter, and just the tribe in general. They've never been photographed before, ever. They've never seen a camera, and Eli Roth, he takes us into this zone of people. We're never going to get that again. Yeah. And it pisses me off because a lot of people, I mean, even if you're a gore fan, I don't think that you can go into this and come away being like, oh, I'm happy. Because it takes 45 minutes for us to go from the first act until we even see any kind of gore.
Yeah.
Before there's any kind of cannibalistic action, before you even meet the tribe, it's 45 minutes. And I'm sorry, you have to have a good, strong act there.
Yeah.
If you're gonna keep us in a first act and you're gonna put us with characters, these characters are shit. They're cardboard. They're boring. I would even say that they're the most boring characters of 2015.
Yeah.
I would say. I thought they
So
sucked. I mean,
poorly
so I'm gonna
written.
just give it out to you guys. What do you guys think?
Essentially, like, the whole dialogue in the first half, especially on the campus, between the two roommates, between the group and stuff, literally, it's something that I feel like a 14-year-old could write.
Yeah.
And, like, try to put together as, like, their creative arts project. Or
Yeah.
something.
No kidding.
I honestly feel like I could have filmed that whole segment on campus with my cell phone and just walk around and follow, like, two annoying people.
Exactly.
I had to ask Brad what the whole point of when they were tied up around the trees. I had to ask him what is going on, because I didn't get much out of a group of people that seemingly hated each other and one outcast girl. I was like, what are you guys even meeting for?
Yeah.
Nobody seems to really like each other, and now they're in the Amazon or whatever, and they're tied to a tree, and I was like, what? And he's like, oh, they're saving trees. I didn't get that.
And it makes me want to do an episode, strong first act movies.
Yeah.
And because, I mean, when you're making a movie, I mean, you have a chunk of 45 minutes here, and you have to entertain us. You have to do something. You have to, give us some characters that you want to hang out with. You have to do something. I would even start the movie. There's different ways that you could start this movie. You could start them with a montage of, like, trying to save the Amazon, blah, 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 drop them off, cannibal, right there. Cannibal movie right off bat, montage. That's what montages were made for, shitty first acts, shitty second acts, right? So, I mean, what do you think about these characters? Alejandro. What do you think about Alejandro?
Dude, I had such a hard time understanding him. Like, completely hard time understanding him. Like, he's just... Okay, the way he said sabotage. It's just like... Yeah, it's like, what? I mean, I think I needed, like, subtitles.
Yeah.
Just to understand what most of these people were saying. And then his girlfriend's like, oh, she's taken. Or he's taken.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, what?
Yeah.
Very thick.
It's like they tried to play his character off as he's worse than the cannibals.
Yeah.
But it failed really, really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we talked briefly here at the beginning, our opinions on Eli Roth as a director. This is his fourth movie. Does this feel like a director's fourth movie?
No. I feel like this is director's, like, first movie that probably...
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't know.
Let me read another quote real quick from Eli Roth, okay? He says, I love those films. He's talking about cannibal movies. Those Italian cannibal movies of the 70s. They really went into the Amazon and filmed with real natives. There's no CGI. There's no special effects. They're really doing it. I think this type of dangerous filmmaking is lost, and it still is. Most have become safe and boring. I wanted to make a movie where the audience members go, the people that made this movie were completely insane. How the hell did you do this? And it's like, there's a couple beats in here. You watch those old movies. I haven't watched Cannibal Holocaust or some of those old cannibal movies, but I guarantee, just because of the time and being in the 70s, I guarantee they didn't throw diarrhea gags.
Yeah.
I guarantee they didn't throw masturbation jokes in a cage. You guys want to explain those two scenes real quick? I mean, it blew me out of the way, because any kind of, you hit on it, it's a cannibal movie in 2015.
Yeah.
This is the time of DC, Marvel, and Star Wars. A cannibal movie sounds fresh and exciting. That's why I was so pumped about a cannibal movie. And then you take us into this cannibal movie. You take us into where no one has gone before. You take us into the Amazon, right? And you do some insane shit. And you show us this scary tribe. And then jerk off jokes.
Right.
Yeah.
And poop jokes.
Because we're supposed to believe that a group of people are captured that are seemingly on the same page, and they do almost nothing to help each other out or better the situation.
They just turn against each
poop
other.
jokes.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't seem like the characters, once they hit the cannibals, it doesn't seem like they're even interested in escaping. It doesn't even seem like they feel that. I mean, yeah, they're threatened, but with the poop jokes and everything, any kind of impact or scare factor that this movie has, it goes right out the window. There's a scene where a guy is like all stressed and they go to him and he's jerking off in the middle of a cage and he's like, you have to what? Like, release the tension.
It was after a character just died.
Yeah, cut her own throat.
A girl that he'd known for like years had just committed suicide in front of him, and they're trying to like respect her body, and they turn to him because he's known her the longest, and he's like, would you like to say a few words? And he's literally like, jerking off.
Yeah.
It's like, are you serious?
And then, it was just really awkward when the guy ran up, grabbed his throat, and he started going faster. I was like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I was
And
like,
I'm
what?
thinking, man.
And he's looking at him like dead in the eyes.
Yeah, and then the explosive diarrhea scene.
Yeah.
It's just not funny. It's just, it's not funny.
No.
It's those jerks that just take you out of a movie. That's all it is. And I just feel so bad because, like, man, we're not going to see these people probably in another movie.
Right.
And, man, you just see images of these villagers, and you're like, damn, this looks so cool.
Yeah.
Eli Roth has talked about, like, he wanted to make a Werner Herzog movie or a Terrence Malick movie. And I'm like, man, when we got to the Green Inferno, I think I was sitting next to you, and I was like, man, dude, this looks cool. This Green Inferno, this village, this makeup, man, everybody looks terrifying. And then you go with the poop jokes, man. It takes me right out of there.
Oh,
It's just not cool. I want to go back to these villagers, okay? And I want to get like a GoFundMe, okay? Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go get funded, and I'm gonna go deep into the Amazon, right? And I'm gonna go meet them. Hey, I'm Brad. You know, how you doing? Right? Eli Roth, he fucked you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make better movie. Terrifying.
Oscar.
Meet Mel Gibson. He will direct you. Okay, that's the movie I want. Because this is man. I'm so I don't know. I got these movies that I love, and they're American Dream movies.
Yeah.
Okay, and the Heart of Darkness movies. You know, the darkness that lives in the hearts of people. Any of those movies that show just how evil men can be. And I was really hoping that this would get into that. Or at least show me a good commentary. You know, some people argue that there's a good commentary here with these kids going or whatever, right? How cool would it have been if they went over there to save the Amazon, save the tribal people, and then they get locked up, and then they actually burn the fucking forest down trying to escape?
Yeah.
Right? What the fuck? How come you can't write that? You gotta write someone shitting in a corner instead?
Right.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Also, if you just look at some of the shots of just I think one of the main posters they had was like the main headhunter, and he's just glaring at the camera.
Such a cool character.
He just looked so intense. I saw him. He was one of the first images I saw for this film, and it's like, that's scary.
Mm-hmm.
That will haunt me, kind of thing.
That
And
image
then
sold me, like right there.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
the mean look in his eyes, and it's just like, oh, it's like, okay, I want to go see this person eat someone.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and I get so pissed that image is in this movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
it ruined it.
it ruined it. We're done with that movie, and it's
Well,
never gonna happen again.
That's like Eli Roth's first quote that you read. You know, there wasn't anything in this movie that had me running out of the theater. It didn't, that kind of stuff.
Looking through your fingers.
And that's
You're
where
so
I think
scared.
he's like got the wrong idea, because like when I watch a movie, or the movies that I like, somewhere in that movie it made a lasting impact on me, not freak me out or whatever. It was just and if he's an apprentice of Quentin Tarantino, well, there's a guy who's made a lot of impacts on all of us that have seen these movies, and you would think that would spill over into this, but not even close.
How could you work with Tarantino and come away doing this shit? Can you imagine going home for Christmas? Okay, and Quentin, what'd you think of my cannibal movie? Did you like
this?
this?
Walk over to you and just snap
He's
you.
gonna be like, did you watch fucking Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill, Reservoir Dogs, Jackie Brown? Did you watch any of my shit? Okay, did you learn anything? Oh my god! And he says in here about the CGI, they went, these old school filmmakers, they went into the jungle and they made a fucking hard movie.
No CGI.
Did you
no
see that?
special effects.
Did you see the ants?
Did you see the plane?
The plane.
Oh yeah.
There's no reason. If your movie's hard enough, okay, you have these fucking Peru jungle people.
Yeah.
You don't need a goddamn $1 million plane crash, okay? You take us however they get kidnapped. Okay, you can write it 1,000,001 ways. You don't need a fucking plane crash, because you know why? Your fucking cast of creepy motherfucking jungle people is scary enough.
Yeah,
right.
Yes.
I honestly believe, like you said, I think they honestly just should have gone camping. Like the people on the boat should have just dropped them off. Boom.
Yeah.
Go camping.
Yeah.
Go save it.
Yeah, and I think I was talking to you about that at the beginning, right? I mean, it's like such a perfect way to write this movie.
Yeah.
You have that quick montage of the things, so you don't have 45 minutes of the worst movie you've ever seen. You take these people, they go camping, they put on their suits, their Amazon shit, and they wake up, and guess what? They're being dragged out of the jungle, and that's a terrifying scene already in my mind.
Yeah.
Being dragged from their sleeping bags, fucking just, into the heart of the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, then they wake up in the temple of fucking, triple X rated R doom, where they're fucking ripping out their goddamn hearts. That's scary shit.
Yeah.
You don't need the plane crash. You don't need the ants. I think I looked at, I think it was you, or I was talking to you afterwards.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, the ants that are crawling up that guy, it wasn't as bad. I actually heard going into it that there was a CGI ant scene. And I was actually kind of pissed going in. So, I mean, that kind of sucks. But I will say it wasn't as bad. I thought that, like, giant fucking ants was going to, just, 2015 movie making, right?
Damn.
But still, you have these scary tribal people.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really go back to the writing room and be like, oh fuck, I know this guy looks scary, the headhunter guy, the tribal woman, she's creepy too, but I need ants. I need scary ants.
Yeah.
No, you need that guy that you're talking about with the fucking bone, with a fucking like bone saw. Or like a club.
Like in
the
your
same.
face.
Yeah, what was scarier? When that guy was like hitting him in the legs
And
and
you
the
heard
arm
the front.
and the neck with the club, or the fucking ants?
You heard each individual bone breaking when you
Yeah.
did that. I literally just tensed in my seat and just grabbed every time I heard that bone crunch. That was scary. And then instead he just decides to put all this mud stuff all over him, and then there's just ants.
Yeah. And I'm even more hard on this movie because it's just such a big missed opportunity. When's the next time we're going to get a cannibal movie? And if this one doesn't do well, we're probably not going to get a cannibal movie for a long ass time. It's just such a missed opportunity. Man, I really do want to go back and just apologize to these natives and be like, he fucked you. Here's Mel Gibson. Here's Tarantino. Here's Terrence Malick and Werner Herzog, okay? Who directed Grizzly Man, which we talked about off camera just last week. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine Werner Herzog coming in and directing these fucking guys? Oh my god, that movie would be creepy as shit, wouldn't it? Yeah. And it's just not going to happen. Mm-hmm. There's some awesome stories behind the making of this film too. In 2012, we talked a little bit about where we had some Christian missionaries coming up to this tribe, right, during the filming in 2012. And you can just imagine the set all covered in blood and skeletons fucking
and they're
hanging.
Like, Jesus,
yeah,
Jesus.
yeah. These missionaries were singing Jesus songs, right? And then they just like get up to Eli Roth's set in the jungle, and they just see all this. Can you imagine? I would shit myself if I saw that. I'd be like, Jesus saves Jesus. Roll the fucking boat. Let's get the fuck out of here. And so I guess Eli Roth caught up with him, and he was like, we're just making a movie, That's funny. And then I guess the tribes people, this was a dangerous set. You know that scene where, I think, what was her name? The main character that you're...
was it...
Janine.
Janine. It's Janine.
Okay, yeah. She's actually going down the river. She almost drowned in that scene.
Really?
Yeah, she almost drowned in that scene. And then that scene, the scenes where the kids were like poking snakes at their faces. They're actually like very dangerous snakes. And the kids came up to Eli Roth, I guess during the film, and was like, ooh, I think it'd be funny to stick snake in face. And Eli Roth is like, okay, cool. And so, it's like, what the hell, And there's another funny thing. I guess they offered to give a 2-year-old child to the production designer.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's how primitive these fucking people are. They're giving their kids away. And I just don't want to see a kid be given away. There's a screenplay right there.
Yes.
I want to write this movie where a kid from 2015 Peru is given to Eli Roth. And then he comes home to America, 2015, and he becomes a serial killer. So he's dressed like that, in the fucking streets of New York, killing people, jumping off rooftops.
And he's a real cannibal.
Yeah, he's a real cannibal. So yeah, there's all kinds of fucked up things about this movie that actually happened, but I was bored. The gore, there's some gore there, I guess. Not as much as you would think for a cannibal movie, I don't think, right?
Yeah, I expected way more.
Yeah, I expected way more. You actually prepared yourself, didn't you? You actually told me a little bit about how you prepared yourself going into this cannibal movie. You want to explain?
Okay, like traditionally when I watch something like this, Cannibal Holocaust actually made me a little physically ill watching it. So before this, I like prepared everything that I ate the day before. I was like, everything's light. Nothing has like meat in it. Yeah. I'm not gonna be like gagging in my seat or anything. And I even like prepared what movie I was gonna watch after because I thought I was gonna be so terrified I wouldn't be able to sleep after. No, I went home and I watched a real horror movie.
Yeah, because you even told me when we left the theater, and you're just like, yeah, you weren't that freaked out by it at all.
No.
No, and honestly, I live with her. She's really scared and terrified about everything. Just
I'm
everything.
the biggest chicken.
And you just hit on it too, and that's you just hit on it. The biggest problem, one of the biggest problems I have with this movie. There's a lot of gore, but because of that comedy and because of just the
it's so light.
Yeah, exactly. It's just so
light.
It's so light. There's some gore, but it's never scary. Mm-hmm. This movie should be terrifying. Yes. You should be in this cage, and you should be looking out, and you should see these people like doing their cannibal things, which they do, and that should be terrifying as a viewer. But then they go to those scenes that we talk about with the jerking off and the diarrhea, and you just never feel like they're ever like. If I'm in this cage, we just watched a movie a few weeks ago. Have you watched Cooties yet?
Watch part of it.
Okay, watch part of it. We watched Cooties, and they're dropping movies left and right in this movie. If I'm trapped in this cage, I'd be like, hey, have you seen The fucking Great Escape?
Yeah.
We gotta get the fuck out of here.
There's more than one of you.
Yeah, I don't hear. There's not one time where they're talking about trying to like really escape. I mean, they escape. They do, but not until later. Because we were actually looking at each other like, where the fuck are they?
A lot of times they're like, we're gonna be saved.
Yeah,
we're gonna be saved.
Wasn't it the main character, the masturbator? He was like, "Oh, your Scooby-Doo plan's not going to work," and he's like, "Hey, you should watch more cartoons then."
Right.
Yeah, I just cannot believe this is an apprentice of Tarantino.
Right. Just, ouch.
Ouch. Yeah.
Ouch.
So, how about that ending, huh? Could anybody make heads or tails?
Oh my god, I don't even know.
Oh, yeah, the satellite automatically just focuses in on his face.
On Alejandro, yeah. So the guy who was the lead activist who turns into being a cage masturbator weirdo, he's alive at the end, and it just shows a satellite image of him. So this creep is like still alive out there. Maybe I don't know. Are they doing like what are they doing with this guy? I don't even understand. It was such a horrible tag.
Yeah, it was just
what?
Yeah, people doing dumb things. Like one of your scenes that you've talked about off camera was people just walking into propellers.
After the plane crash, that guy just walks into a moving propeller and dies. Now, you can get away with that in Dawn of the Dead when the zombie gets his head chopped off. He's supposed to be stupid, but this guy was just stupid.
He looks right at it, and he's like,
he saw it coming. Like everybody was like, "Oh, watch out for this!"
Yeah,
and he's like,
walks
"Oh,
right into it.
hey, look at this! It's still moving."
Yeah.
Or what about the phones?
When you watch a movie like
phones.
this and you're watching these guys captured, you try to put yourself in their shoes. Like, man, what would I do? I'd be horrified. You got all these natives running around. You don't know what their traditions are. You don't understand what they're doing. Hey, they're dragging this guy out. What are they going to do?
Yeah.
I was more concerned about why aren't these guys doing anything? Like, that just takes me out of the movie. And then you don't buy the whole thing. So,
can we talk about the pot smoke?
Oh, come on.
What a brilliant idea.
And again, so it's all these little beats that this should be a terrifying movie.
Yeah.
But I'm like double thinking this movie. I'm like, is that?
The kids would love it.
Yeah, they have like a little bit of pot and they stuff it in a dead person's mouth and they cook them up, and then all the cannibals, they get high and they fall asleep and they're like fucking chasing chickens and shit.
Yeah.
And then they try to escape. And I'm thinking, I looked at somebody in the theater and I was like, is that how that fucking works?
Right.
It's just like a little bit of weed. I
think you looked at me and I was like, that's like nice.
Was it you? Yeah, I was like...
Okay, not that I'm an expert, but that's like less than half an ounce. That's not gonna get really
half an ounce.
For the entire tribe.
The whole entire tribe
is a big tribe.
That's like 100 people.
Even if it's good shit. They're stoned off their ass. So again, it's just jarring. All these little things, these beats that that he fills this movie with, it's just jarring as hell.
Yeah, it's really juvenile.
Yeah, or how about this? I'll give you another one. Like, how we fixed the beginning of this movie, that 45 minutes, because I like fixing movies in this talk, that 45 minutes putting us on the beach, they fall asleep, the cannibals drag them out of their sleep, awesome, right?
Yeah.
Fixes the beginning of this movie. Or the end when they burn the forest down to try to escape, and then they're actually destroying what they were there to save, right?
Yeah.
Or, how about this? How about, we go there, Okay, because one of my biggest problems I have with home invasion movies are the people that they invade are pussies. You know? And I want to see the good guys actually destroy the fucking bad guys, become the evil. Okay? How cool would it have been? It would have been a good commentary here if we take this group of college kids and they stuff them in this cage and they eat a couple of them and they do figure out how to escape and they're like, you know what? Fuck these cannibals.
Yeah.
And then it's like a 30-minute fucking commando movie where they're chopping off every fucking head they can find. That's cool. And that's something I haven't seen. It's just, man, everything is just so stale.
Oh, yeah.
And just kind of lifeless. And the only thing this movie has for it is that tribe, that native tribe. That is it.
We talked about this where I wish it had a Night of the Living Dead ending.
Yeah.
During the firefight between the natives and the soldiers, if they would have ended with her getting shot and killed, end it.
Yeah. Night of the Living Dead, if you haven't watched it, the main character survives the entire night. The only survivor. He walks out, bam, gets shot in the head by hunters. How cool would that have been?
That would have been. That's how you make an impact.
Yeah, and then Eli Roth being a apprentice of all the horror directors have come before him. That's a nice kind of like going out note. He probably would have been criticized for stealing like an ending like that, but I think it would have been appropriate as well. Yeah. Or if you don't want to do the headshot, there's that jaguar or whatever that was inside. How about that? Like she escapes the cannibals only to get eaten
the jaguar.
by the fucking jungle. You know what I'm saying? So there's so many different routes I think would have been more interesting than what they gave us here, And I think I will give Eli Roth this. I think he's one of our best. Gotta be careful here. Like post 9/11 directors, and I'm not talking about as a director, but I'm talking about more as a storyteller. He does those movies where foreigners go abroad. And you're scared to death of the people that you don't know because you don't understand. In Hostel, you have people going over to wherever they go to. I think are they Americans going over? Yeah, and they get caught up and they get chopped up by foreigners. In this one, you have a bunch of students going over to the Amazon. Cabin Fever, I don't think had that, but it's that same concept of American Werewolf in London, where you have a bunch of two friends. They go backpacking in Europe. And it's that going abroad and not understanding the foreigners and getting that post 9/11 fear. I really enjoy. And with that's all he has for this as well. That and a little bit of some cannibal gore. And if that's all you're looking for, if you like Eli Roth, you might like it. But man, you still got to sit through 45 minutes of pure shit, and then you got to sit through some dick and cock and diarrhea jokes.
Yeah.
So, ending comments. Anything else you guys want to add to this?
That was just a huge letdown.
I don't know. I mean, the first death was really good. So
really good. Yeah, big props.
Really, really good. But I don't know. It's just I feel like as soon as they gave him water and everything else, it's like, oh, he was really being kind and everything else. Then they lay him down, and it's like, oh wait, something's getting really fucked up. I don't know. It's like, and then after she started going in the eyes and stuff, it's like,
yeah.
I thought that was the start of a lot of crazy stuff, but it just went flat after that.
Yeah, it went completely flat.
Yeah.
And then all of his like fat jokes and all the other things just.
Yeah, so it really took us out. I wasn't a fan. I think it was a big missed opportunity. I hope Eli Roth hits us over the head hard with Knock Knock. I'm not going to cross my fingers. But yeah, this just does not feel like a movie from a director, 4 movies deep. It just does not feel like that at all.
It's like a student film.
Yeah, I hope he meets Tarantino over the weekend or something. He just gets cracked over the knuckles with a big ass ruler. Because it's just a shame. It's a dirty shame that you would fuck the natives like this. I really want to go over to the Amazon and save them now because you fucked them hard.
Sorry, natives.
Yeah. Because we won't see you again in a movie. So I hope Mel Gibson, stops being an asshole to people and he goes over there and he wants to make a cool ass fucking native movie with you because that's what we need right now. Yeah. Just get this taste out of our mouth. And I guarantee you, can you imagine a Mel Gibson fucking movie?
That would be crazy.
God. It'd be fucking nuts. There wouldn't be no goddamn
I could see
dick
Mel
jokes.
Gibson out there just going nuts.
Yeah, can you imagine him chasing the villages?
He probably would have taken the boy.
Yeah, probably.
He probably would have taken
the boy.
Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah, so it's a big disappointment. Closing comments, anything, right?
Wasted potential.
Wasted potential. Yep.
Forgettable.
Completely unrealistic.
Yeah. And that's what it should have been. It should have been realistic.
Yes.
Yeah, that would have been scary. And I think that, honestly, he had a Pantheon level film right in his hands, and he just fucking lost it. And I just don't know how. Why is Eli Roth such a household name?
I don't get
Cabin Fever's good. It's good.
It's not amazing.
It's not amazing.
It's not amazing.
I think it's because he's jerked off Tarantino. When you stand next to, side by side with Tarantino, maybe you just become a household name. I don't know. I just don't think he's all that. I just don't get it. But I don't know. Maybe he'll prove me wrong one day. But until then, I don't know. So what do you guys score this movie? Can you give me my chicken?
I'm going to go maybe. I'm going to go 1.
1?
Just because the villagers looked awesome. Although that had nothing to do with Eli Roth.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say, the villagers, you're amazing.
Yeah.
That's probably the only good thing in this entire film, though.
Yep.
Is the villagers.
Yeah. I'm going to go, on the AV scale, we go ugly, bad. So I'm going to go bad. And the only reason I'm giving it bad and not an ugly is because of those villagers as well. So I give it 2. I give it 2 out of 5. And that's a bad movie, Chicken. And you're up there with Chappie now. And a couple other shitty movies. So, all right. What do you give it?
I give it a bad.
Yeah?
That was
so
bad.
it's 2?
Yep.
All right. What do you give it?
Can I do halves?
You can do halves, bro.
All right, 1.5.
1.5? All right. All right. Well, that's our Green Inferno review. Where can they find you?
I'm on Facebook. You can find me on Adventures in Videoland. Hit me up, message me, friend me, whatever. Caitlin Renee.
All right.
You can find me on Facebook, and I'm always posting on the Videoland Facebook page, so catch me there.
You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all under VKR90.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. You can find us on Adventures in Videoland. We're posting there all the time. We're on Instagram. We're on Tumblr. Instagram, and we have 100 photos. Some exciting, fun photos up there. We have our own YouTube page. We're at 1,200, something like that. It's we're getting up there. So give us some watch. If you disagree with us, tell us why you disagree with us. If you go out, man, I hope you enjoy it. So tell us what you think in the comments below. Until next time, peace out.
Hey, what's up, Videoland? This is Brian Steele. I was asked to talk about the Green Inferno. I haven't had a chance to see it yet, but I'm really excited to do so. I'm a huge Eli Roth fan. I actually went out to Vegas to go to his haunted house when it was still open, and I've got my hoodie from it and everything. I know that it probably isn't going to be great, but I'm still going to love it. I love the original he's paying homage to, the Cannibal Holocaust. And I pretty much love just about everything he does. So I'm looking forward to it. And no matter what the naysayers are into, I'm going for a fun, gross flick. So hopefully I get what I want. Later.
What's up, Videolanders? This is Cousin Wayne. As far as Eli Roth being a director, I think he's horrible. I just can't seem to do anything right. I was excited about Green Inferno because I thought all he had to do was a movie pretty much about, gore and nudity, which is a direct rip-off of Cannibal Holocaust. I thought he could at least do that. But no, he could not even do that. It was an epic fail, and I think he's an epic fail as a director. Thanks for listening.
Hey, Videolanders, it's April. Just coming to talk to you about Green Inferno and Eli Roth. Eli Roth as a director, I believe, is highly overrated. The only one that I liked was Hostel. Otherwise, it's boring and leaves me wanting and lackluster. Green Inferno, right along those lines. It was abominable and stupid, had so much potential. Look forward to watching the original. I'm sure it's 10 times better. That's what I thought of Green Inferno. Thanks, Videolanders. Stay cool.
What's up, Videolanders? It's Aaron. Just calling to tell you my thoughts on Eli Roth and Green Inferno. Once when I was 5 years old, I vomited up some eggs, and, I grew up in a strict household, and my father grabbed the back of my neck and shoved the vomit down my throat and made me swallow it, and I think I will wind up enjoying that more than the film Green Inferno. Have a good one, guys.
basically they just handed him everything. It's like, look how amazing this jungle. Look how amazing these people look.
Yeah.
Here's an idea: cannibals. Perfect.
Yeah.
College kids, go for it. Saving the rainforest. Boom.
Yeah.
Crap.
Can you imagine the actors? They're like, "Oh, Eli, this is amazing. You have all this stuff. No one's ever been here. No one's photographing. What's the first scene you want me to do? Bob, I need you in the corner, and I just want you just jerking it as hard as you can, and then you get ready for your diarrhea scene, okay? Because you're gonna shit all over the place." And they're just like,
What?
Fuck?
You want me to do what now?
And then all the tribes people are gonna be high on weed.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna make our run. And you're like,
I'm gonna go hide in the forest with a high-vis suit on. Because you can't see me blending into the trees.
Yeah.